The studio buzzed with warmth and applause as the Kelly Clarkson Show went live. Bright lights reflected off pastel walls, and the audience was already standing, clapping rhythmically. Kelly Clarkson stepped forward, beaming, her voice full of excitement. "Please welcome the legendary Shania Twain." The applause doubled. Shania walked out with confidence, calm, elegant, and smiling. She waved to the crowd, hugged Kelly warmly, and took her seat. To viewers at home, this felt like a dream pairing. Two powerhouse voices, two women who had shaped music across generations. Everything looked perfect. Kelly opened with praise, talking about Shania's impact on country and pop music, calling her a once-in-a-lifetime artist. Shania nodded appreciatively, thanking fans and expressing gratitude for her long journey. They laughed about old tour stories. Shania joked about fashion, risks from the early 2000s. The audience loved it. Social media began lighting up with hearts and fire emojis. But beneath the polished smile, something subtle shifted. Kelly glanced at her cards, hesitating for just a moment longer than usual. "So, Shania," she said gently, "you've spoken before about reinvention, about stepping away, then coming back stronger. Some people say your recent choices feel different." Shania tilted her head. "Different how?" Kelly smiled, careful with her tone. "More controlled, less open. Fans wonder if you're holding back, or if something changed how you see the industry." The audience quieted. Shania's smile remained, but her posture straightened. "The industry changed long before I did," she replied calmly. Kelly nodded. "That's fair. But some critics say your new music avoids risk, that it plays safe." A few murmurs rippled through the crowd. Shania let out a soft laugh. "Risk looks different at different stages of life." Kelly leaned forward. "Do you think legends are allowed to evolve without being questioned?" Shania met her eyes. "I think legends are constantly questioned. The problem is how." The tension was barely visible, but it was there. A thin crack forming beneath the surface. Kelly sensed it and tried to steer back. "Your fans are fiercely loyal. They feel protective." Shania nodded slowly. "And I love them for that." But the warmth from earlier had cooled. The energy was no longer playful, it was alert. Cameras zoomed in. Something was coming. Kelly took a breath and continued. "You've been very open about boundaries lately," she said. "Some people feel that when artists avoid certain conversations, it creates distance." Shania's eyes narrowed slightly, not in anger but in focus. "Boundaries don't create distance," she said. "They create clarity." The audience clapped, but cautiously. Kelly smiled, though her voice carried more weight now. "But when public figures influence millions, don't they owe transparency?" That word, "oh," hung in the air. Shania shifted in her seat. "Transparency doesn't mean access to every part of my life," Kelly replied softly. "Some would argue it comes with the platform." Shania's smile faded. "For years," Shania said, voice steady, "my life was consumed, dissected, and sold back to me as headlines. I survived that. I learned." The room was silent. Kelly nodded but pressed on. "So when fans say they miss the old Shania, how do you respond?" That did it. Shania paused, long enough for the silence to feel uncomfortable. "I don't live to recreate a version of myself that made other people comfortable," she said. The audience gasped softly. Kelly stood slightly, palms open. "That's not what I meant." "But that's what you're asking," Shania interrupted, still composed but firm. A producer's voice buzzed faintly in Kelly's earpiece. She ignored it. "People feel shut out," Kelly said. "They want honesty." Shania stood up. The movement was sudden. Chairs shifted. Gasps echoed. "Honesty," Shania repeated, "is knowing when a conversation stops being curious and starts being invasive." Kelly's eyes widened. "Shania, sit down. We can talk this through." Shania removed her microphone calmly. "I came here to share music and growth, not to defend my worth." Kelly tried one last time. "This isn't an attack." Shania looked directly at her. "Impact matters more than intent." The studio froze. Cameras kept rolling. Shania picked up her jacket, turned toward the audience, and nodded respectfully. Then she walked off the stage. No music played. No applause followed. Just stunned silence. Within minutes, clips flooded the internet. Shania Twain walks off Kelly Clarkson Show trended worldwide. Fans dissected every word, every pause, every look. Comment sections exploded. Some praised Shania for protecting her boundaries, calling the moment powerful and long overdue. Others criticized her, accusing her of being too sensitive. The internet split in half. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere was tense. Kelly sat quietly, cue cards untouched. Crew members whispered urgently, aware they had just witnessed a moment that would define the show's legacy. Later that day, Kelly addressed the audience. "Live TV is unpredictable," she said. "Conversations can get emotional." She didn't apologize, but she didn't defend herself either. Shania, on the other hand, stayed silent for 2 days. Then she posted a single message. "Growth means choosing peace over performance." That sentence went viral. Industry insiders revealed that Shania had requested certain topics be avoided. Others claimed the show pushed for a real moment. If so, they got one, but it came at a cost. Artists began canceling or restricting talk show appearances. Interviews grew safer, more rehearsed. The era of surprise questions quietly faded. Weeks later, Shania returned, on her own terms. At a sold-out concert, she addressed the crowd. "I didn't walk away from a show," she said. "I walked toward myself." The crowd erupted. Sometimes the loudest statement isn't made with shouting. It's made by standing up, unplugging the mic, and choosing dignity over drama. And that walkout became more than a headline. It became a reminder. Even legends don't owe the world everything, especially not at the cost of respect.